What's up, everyone out there in YouTube world, Facebook world, social media world, the world, wherever you're at. Welcome to another quick edition of Musings with MGL. I'm your host, as always, MGL. Before we get started, as always, you got to make the pitch. If you like my content, you can subscribe to my channel. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers, which would be pretty cool. Apparently, that's the magic number for YouTube, where you can start becoming a real YouTuber. I don't know. But anyway, like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, ding, 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 all that nonsense. Today's topic is going to be, I don't know, controversial, maybe not controversial, I don't know. But I want to ask the question, the NRA, is it good or is it bad for gun owners? Now, I call this a controversial topic because you can throw that question out there and you're going to get probably a good chunk of the Second Amendment community who's going to tell you it's good, and you're going to get another chunk that's going to tell you it's bad. And I only care about the Second Amendment community. I know the non-Second Amendment anti-gun people hate the NRA. That's going to play into my opinion here in a little bit. But the topic is very controversial. Whenever somebody posts any sort of gun group that I'm at, or you're at any kind of gun show or a gun shop, or people just standing around talking about gun stuff, you always get into this debate because a lot of people like the NRA because it's big, it's been around for a long time, and they think that it has done a lot of good stuff for gun owners. And then there's a lot of people out there who just vehemently hate the NRA because they think all they do is take your money. They think they're too political. They think they've caved in on a lot of gun issues. They don't like the current president, Wayne Lapierre, however you pronounce his name. So you get mixed reactions when you talk about the NRA in the gun community. So I'm just kind of asking the question, is it good or bad? Now, here's my answer to that. The more pro-gun groups we have, the better. And all those groups are going to roll along a spectrum. There's a lot of other pro-Second Amendment groups out there, Gun Owners of America, concealed carry groups that you can donate to that also do a lot of lobbying. And much like any other large organizations, they run the gambit of zealousness versus, I want to use the word political savvy, I guess. You get some that are going to be, look, no matter what, we're ultimate, we're straight down the line, pro-Second Amendment, we're never going to agree to anything, and we're only going to lobby for people who do that. All the way over to the other side, where you're going to have gun groups. And again, this applies to any kind of lobbying group out there, guns, cars, doctors, pills, whatever group you want to say. You're going to have some on the other side that are like, look, we philosophically might be hardline down the middle, but we also understand we live in a political world, and sometimes you can't be hardline. If you want to get some stuff done, it's better to get 75% of what you want and give up 25%. So you're going to have this huge spectrum along the scale. Now, me personally, I'm on the hardline spectrum. I am a hardline Second Amendment constitutionalist. I think every gun law is essentially an infringement on the Second Amendment, and that's my personal hardline philosophy. I'm also a lawyer, which means I also sometimes understand the concept of compromise, because you have to do that lots of times in legal cases, whether it's criminal legal cases, family law, civil legal cases. Sometimes you have to make compromise. So I also understand from a practical standpoint why it's great to have the hardline position, but sometimes you have to live in reality and have the non-hardline position. So my position is there's room for all of those groups in there. The more pro-Second Amendment groups we have, the better. Whether there's 50%, 75%, 100% pro-Second Amendment groups, the more we have, the better. Now, you are free to do what you want with your own money. If you want to donate to the really hardline Second Amendment group, you can do that. If you want to donate to the not-so-hardline Second Amendment group, you can do that. If you want to donate to all of them, then you can do that as well, which is sort of what I subscribe to. Is, again, if you've got the money, you should, if you only have limited money, you should pick the one that you care about the most, that supports you the most, and that's perfectly fine. But if you got enough money to spread it around, the more gun groups, the merrier. The thing with the NRA is, and the reason why I like the NRA, not necessarily for what they stand for. Again, I'm more of the hardline person, but what I like about the NRA is because they are so big, they are the most powerful. Whether you like it or not, the fact of the matter is they have the most members, they have the most money, and they have the most power when it comes to lobbying. So a lot of the people out there will be like, we should get rid of the NRA. They suck. Don't support the NRA. could you imagine how insane the left wing and the anti-gunners would be if the NRA fell apart? If it disbanded because all the members left, or they were embroiled in some controversy, or they get tired of people bashing them and they say, you know what, we're just going to close up shop. That's basically taking down the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and it would give so much power and leverage and enthusiasm to the anti-gun side if they can take down the 800-pound gorilla. Like it or not, they're not worried about the smaller ones. They're just not. It'd be nice if they were, but the anti-gun people are not really worried about the smaller ones. They're worried about the big 800-pound gorilla. And again, like it or not, that's the NRA. And so I don't want the NRA to go down. I don't want them to lose money. I don't want them to lose support, because they're such a huge target. Everybody goes after them that you can have the smaller ones do a lot of the behind-the-scenes lobbying because everybody's attacking the big one. And again, they are just the star. So if they were to be taken down by the left for whatever reason, or they fell apart, it would be a huge victory for them, and it would be a huge negative to us, whether you like the NRA, whether you think they do enough for us or don't do enough for us. If they went down, that would be a huge blow to the pro-Second Amendment community. So I'm okay with, let's raise up some of these other ones. Find one that's really conservative and hard line, and I don't, again, join them if you want to. Join both of them or whatever. If you want to try and raise one up to where they now become the gorilla, but they're more in line with your philosophy, that's great. But until that happens, we're stuck with what we got, and I don't want to see them dismantled or taken down, because I just worry about the perception that there would be out there about how weak the gun community is and how strong the anti-gun community is. So my personal opinion is I don't want to see the NRA go away. I think they do a lot of good stuff for the gun community. They do a lot of things that aren't necessarily just the lobbying either. There's an organization called the Friends of the NRA, who is kind of like a charity. They raise money for children to learn how to shoot and to go to gun camps and things of that nature. They sponsor, the Eddie the Eagle program. I know that seems kind of maybe childish, but it's really good for teaching gun safety for children. So it's not just the lobbying stuff they do. They do a lot of other good stuff as well. Could there be some corruption in there? Could they do a better job? Absolutely. I think any organization out there you could find that could do that. So I'm going to say my answer to the question is, on a whole, I like the NRA. I think that they're good because they do more good than bad. However, I can certainly understand people on the other side who do not think that they do good and would like them to get out of the way and maybe make room for some of these other gun groups. And I can't really fault people for that position. So, I'll take the normal lawyer position and say, I agree with both sides and I can see both perspectives here. And so I'm not going to bash. If somebody wants to bash the NRA, they're free to do that. And I'm not going to tell them that they're stupid and wrong. If somebody says I like the NRA, I'm not going to bash them and say you're wasting your money. They're a horrible organization. I think the more pro-gun organizations we have out there, the better. The bigger they are, the better they are. We should hold them accountable for certain and hold their feet to the fire if they do things that we don't like. And again, like any other organization, you can put your money where your mouth is, and if you don't like it, put your money somewhere else. That's fine with me. But that's my answer to NRA. Is it good or bad? Does it do more good than it does bad? Does it do more harm than it does good? Be interested to hear your comments below. So put your comments down below. Ask me questions. Feel free to tell me I'm an idiot. Feel free to agree with me. Whatever you want to do, but go ahead and comment down below. It's an interesting concept that I find amongst the gun community right now, and so I thought I'd do a quick video on it. So I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, etc., etc. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay vigilant. Wait, it's been a while since I did one of these. And as always, carry on.